Can you give me an example maybe of the kind of executives that you're dealing with that maybe that you have to sort of tilt in just that other direction to get them on course?
It's I guess all levels. Using, say, from an individual perspective, working with a person that I'm trying to think of the latest example. Trying to deal with their boss, right? So was one of my clients was having trouble. They have a new boss in place, and they're challenged with they had great relation with the previous boss, and now, oh my gosh, they got to start all over again. So we're working on some strategies of how to manage your boss, right? Of how to build that trust, because people don't leave companies. They leave their boss, right? So if you don't have that working relationship with your boss, that's you either got to decide, well, am I moving to the next organization or the next piece of my career, or am I going to work things out? And what are the the various strategies to build that trust again, to make those commitments, how to solve problems. Your bosses have tons of problems that they want to have taken off their plate. So just coming up to a boss, like, I loved it when my team came up to me and say, Ron, give me something more to do, and I'd say, well, take this one. Right? I mean, it's something that it's one of those things that it's busy on my plate, but I can't get at it because of so many other things. You run with it, right? And raising your hand, saying, give me more is a great way to get ahead.
Now, I can see people right now being in situations where they see an area where they could build upon what they're passionate about, and they go for the brass ring, whether it's a new role or a new project. And just because of the current financial situation in the world, people say, well, you know what, we can't afford to give you that promotion right now, or we have to defer that project to the back burner. Short of leaving your company, is there anything you can do to kind of continue to follow your passion and do that even as you kind of get these obstacles that are kind of circumstantial from the economy?
Yeah, it's people. I find their job, they kind of think within the 9 to 5 mindset, and if you're truly passionate about things, like, I mean, there's 3 levels of work. One is the job, right? You're doing it for cash, right? And you don't necessarily like it, and it's hard work, right? But you're doing it for cash. The next piece is a career, and this is where you like doing the work, and you're stringing some jobs together, and but it's still hard. Right, because you're still working through it and you're still struggling through it. It's the next piece is whether you call it your mission or your passion or your purpose, is because you love doing the work so much, it's no longer hard, and because you're so brilliant at it, you're 10 times more effective at it than anybody else. And I think that's the holy grail that I help my clients connect with, is what do you do brilliantly, better than anybody else. And when we figure out what those strengths are that you're able to leverage and connect that with your purpose, it no longer becomes the 9 to 5 and struggling. So when you have external forces of the economy or whatever, it doesn't matter, because you're working 60 hours a week, but it's because you love doing it. It no longer seems like work. And that's how you get ahead above everybody else. Right? It's if you got to get out of the commodity mindset, because if whether you think that this outsourcing or the offshoring is good or bad, it's not really the discussion. The fact is that it's here, and you have to get out of this commodity mindset. If you stay a commodity, there's so many hungry people out there in the world, and it's no longer your local market; it's a global market. So you're competing at such a high level. So what is it that is the edge? Is that connecting with your passion? What is it that you love doing, that you're hungry for, and you're going to go at? And it's getting up to that level, I think, that people are struggling with.